Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Leicester are top of the Premier League after beating Chelsea 2-0, heaping even more pressure on Frank Lampard. Here's our match reaction. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and like this video if you enjoyed it. So, Lou, your thoughts on that game, mate?
Yeah, do you know what, Bill? I really enjoyed that game. I thought I think Leicester deserve a huge amount of credit tonight. I thought they were absolutely outstanding. And the thing is with them, like I felt like it was the subtleties of their performance that were a big thing, rather than an out and out sort of world class performance from one person. They really impressed me with their sort of their desire and their thirst for blood. Like they had so much determination for every ball, every attack that went forward was, they were looking for blood. They were going for the jugular. And in some ways, I know this is a really big comparison, and obviously, I'm not saying they're as good as Man City and Liverpool, but they played with that hunger that the big teams play with, to kind of get forward. Um, Obviously, Chelsea's defending was obviously very, very poor tonight, so obviously that definitely doesn't help. Um, but I thought that Leicester, they were so resolute in defending. I think they made it really difficult for Chelsea to sort of create anything going forward. And then when they attacked, they were so lethal when they were hungry with every single advance. There were some bits of plays where Schmeichel passed it out to the back to the midfield, and then it was in the final third in 3 moves. It was really, really direct, really, really, really direct. So that was really impressive. And even some of their set piece plays were really good. There were some sort of quick free kicks where they would sort of do a quick short pass to the wing and then cut in. And I thought they just, they deserved to be top of the league. To be honest, after that performance, I thought they played really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. They got off to a great start, didn't they? 6 minutes in, and DD not doesn't score a lot of goals, but when he does score them, every one a season or whatever, he scores some perlers, and he did so. I don't think the ball was meant to come to him, but even so, you mentioned the good set pieces by Leicester tonight, and that was one example of it. I think Albrighton, he tried to find Harvey Barnes, he missed it, and it fell to Ndidi. I mean, that's some strike. But if he hit it really well, I mean, it might have gone straight down the middle, but he sort of put a little outside the foot on it in off the post. Mendy had no chance. But for me, that looked like really good play by Leicester. But I think Chelsea's defending left a lot to be
Yeah,
desired
poor.
in that move.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think Reece James didn't look comfortable at all tonight. I don't know what you think about that, Bill, but he didn't look himself tonight. I thought he got exposed quite a lot by Leicester this evening.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was at fault for the second goal as well. A lot of moves from Leicester seemed to be going down that. Well, both wings really. When I think Chilwell on his return, I don't think he was as good as he usually is, and James looked all at sea, to be honest with you. I mean, I think Leicester they kept just kept driving forward, as you said. I think they had the perfect combination of resolute defence, but just really good speed and counter attacking, and seemed to fly forward at will really. And they're 2-0. It could easily have been 3 or 4-0 tonight, I think.
Yeah, very, very comfortably. Um, I feel like there are some teams that who are really good at defending. That modern style that a lot of the younger managers are favouring, like Lampard, like Mikel Arteta, are obviously that high possession based football. And I think if you get a team that can defend really well and have lethal counter attacking like Leicester, you can see they can beat that. They can sort of lose 75% possession in parts of that game and still be by far the more dangerous team. I mean, Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, obviously, when they were on that barren run, is a good example. Having lots of possession and just not being able to do anything with it, and your opposition lightning quick on the counter. So I think Brendan Rodgers again deserves a lot of credit, because he definitely found out how to play against that style and obviously that system that Chelsea are looking to play tonight. I don't know. Would you say there was any sort of bright points for Chelsea, Bill? Any players that you thought they were maybe like the lone standout in that game for the team?
No, not really. I don't think any of the attacking players really stood out. You had Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Abraham, Pulisic at the start. I don't think any of them really stood out. I think defending, they were all at sea. I think they were defending like how they were at the start of the season. When Kepa was in goal. I think Mendy had made a difference when he come in initially, and Thiago Silva. But now they seem to be reverting back to how they were at the start of the season. And even last season they were really open. uh, on quite a lot of occasions. I can't remember how many goals they conceded, but it was a heck of a lot for a team that fished in the top four. So, and what I wanted to ask Lou is that a performance of a team that maybe not playing for Lampard, but like just is sort of running out of ideas?
Yeah, it's a good question. Again, obviously, I don't like to talk about Arsenal on a video like this, but I can only use the parallels from what we've seen. They seem to be that similar sort of style where they just seem devoid of ideas. I don't think they're necessarily not playing for Lampard, especially the young players, because we know that he's given them a chance. And obviously, they repaid him big time last year, and they had a successful season, although they were still, as you said, open at the back. Um, they just look bereft of ideas and confidence at the moment, with the constant change in formations, the players that are rotating. I thought Werner looked quite on it tonight when he came on. I know obviously they didn't make a difference, but there were a couple of, I thought Mason Mount again looked like he worked hard. His work rate was good. At least he was trying things. I thought Christian Pulisic was also aggressive. I feel like they need, again, sometimes you need one of your younger players to sort of throw caution to the wind and just try and make something happen, to try and get them out of this funk that they're in. But I wouldn't say that. I don't think they're not necessarily playing for Frank. I just think that they just look devoid of confidence at the moment. Ideas. I think that they're not sure from game to game who's going to be playing and how they're going to be trying to play. And I think the interesting proposition is for them going forward is do they want to? I mean, obviously they've invested heavily into this new philosophy, whereas obviously Chelsea were always had a bit more spite, didn't they? With players like Diego Costa and stuff, they had a bit of grit to them, which obviously this younger team sort of doesn't really have at the moment. So I'm sure it's going to be a transition period for Chelsea, isn't it? Obviously they're coming out their golden era and they're moving forward after a transfer ban and things. So I think they're going to need time, like everyone. And I think this season, we've seen prior to the start of this game, they were only 3 points outside of sort of fifth. So although obviously it's a bad loss again, when you look at the sort of that table, as we've said in other videos, it doesn't quite necessarily reflect, I don't think, as bad as it seems. When you're losing these games, it's still quite tight. I know obviously they're down to what is it, eighth now? I think it is after that. But I think they just need to go back to the drawing board, try and find some consistency somewhere, and see where the positives that they can build on, like Mason Mount. I think he's a positive. Christian Pulisic. And I think maybe just try and see what they can do from there.
Yeah, I just don't think the combinations were really there to see, really. I think that's been a problem the last few games. This ain't a one-off with Chelsea. They've been sort of mediocre form for quite a while. When you look at the other teams, City are getting better. United, Liverpool, obviously Leicester are top tonight. I mean, they're falling further away each game. I mean, they finished fourth last season. If they don't get in the Champions League, or at least even get close, Lampard's going to get sacked. It's as simple as that. So, I mean, things could have been different. Hudson-Odoi on the half-hour mark, he had an effort that was wide. He should have scored, I think. If he was playing with confidence, I think he buries that. But then I think the game was over as soon as the second goal went in, really, about 4 or 5 minutes before half-time. Really good finish by James Maddison, who for me, he ran the show. He was given man of the match, and I completely agree with that. Really good finish. Again, a mixture same as the first goal. It was good play by Leicester, but questionable defending again by Chelsea. I think we mentioned Reece James. I think it was ball watching, not tracking Maddison. And there was Rudiger and Havertz went up for the initial header. Two Chelsea players next to each other and go up for the same ball. It just seemed that was a sort of a metaphor for the game. I'd say bad defending and a good play by Leicester.
Yeah, definitely. I think they seem to be missing a leader, don't they, Bill? I think they're missing that classic leader, maybe someone that can just hold it together. They've always had a John Terry type, haven't they? Or
they got Silver, haven't they?
Yeah, with Silver, I don't know how you feel. I just don't. Even with Silver, I don't know. I don't get the sense of confidence between the back line still. Even if they've paired Thiago Silva with Kurt Zouma, I don't really feel like their back line has gelled for a couple of years quite that well. I don't really know what it is. I can't really give you a detailed opinion, I'm afraid. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem to quite click like previous years. I feel like Thiago Silva's been brought in obviously for a lot of experience and to try and bring some of those younger players through, to sort of give them a bit of leadership and sort of steady the ship. And hopefully help sort of bring them forward. But yeah, I don't know. It just still feels a little bit unsteady to me at the back. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I completely agree. I think they've been all at sea for the last few games, not just tonight. So it's 2-0 at half time. Going to the second half, Leicester could have easily made it 3 or 4-0. As I mentioned, James Justin, the fullback, he had a header which went wide. He should have scored. Tielemans, he had a left-footed effort that was well saved by Mendy after Jamie Vardy played him in. And then from there, it was just Leicester were just happy to sit back, play on the counter, and Chelsea. I can't really remember any real chances in the last half hour, I'd say.
No, it all kind of broke down, didn't it? Every opportunity, really. It was just very lackluster. There wasn't really that pace in the past, and it just didn't really happen for them. Anything that they tried, just didn't click. There's nothing really too memorable to kind of bring up, was there? Really, you had the Timo Werner disallowed goal right at the end, obviously frostbite, which you could argue was pretty close. Obviously, I'm sure you'll probably come to that, but other than that, nothing really stood out, did it? I thought, it was all Leicester really on any direct attack, any chance that went forward really for that game for the second half. It was really all Leicester, wasn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, apart from the Werner offside goal, just offside. Apart from that, Chelsea didn't create a huge amount, did they? And Leicester, I mean, every time they flew forward, it looked like they were going to score with their combinations, Vardy and Tielemans, Maddison before he went off. Castagna was flying forward down the right as well. So
yeah,
I think they could have scored even more if they really wanted to. But as I said, they're top of the league. So another poor result for Chelsea. Leicester's excellent season continues. So I have to see how both teams carry on going forward. Well, thanks for joining us, Lou. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to us. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave your match thoughts in the comments below, and check out our other content as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.